Hello, my name is Shane Keeling. I am the technical manager of the Kiln rooms, and I'm going to talk you through what to expect when packing the kiln and how to pack the perfect kiln. First things first, I'm going to talk you through some of the key elements of a kiln, and then we'll get right into it. So the brickwork. It's important not to lean on the brickwork when the kiln is open. Bricks are brittle and will break, allowing the elements to slump if there is no support. These are the elements. This is how the heat is conducted and emanated throughout the kiln. Once they have been through a firing, they become incredibly brittle and rigid. If you notice them slumping, please let a technician or studio manager know and they will come and resolve the issue. It is important not to try and force them back into their regular position, as this will cause them to snap and need repairing. These are the thermocouples. They are an integral and fragile part of the kiln. They tell the controller the internal heat of the kiln. It's really important that we are mindful of bashing the thermocouple as we lower any shelves or work into the kiln. Please let a manager or technician know if it is damaged during your kiln pack. Make sure the thermocouple has at least 1 centimetre of space, and don't pack any kiln shelves or work directly up to the thermocouple. When beginning your load, make sure you are using 10 centimetre props for the bottom layer of your pack. This ensures that the heat is distributed evenly throughout this area. If the 10 centimetre props are not used, this may cause this layer to underfire. Kiln props have to be aligned on each layer to ensure stability throughout the pack. So take note of where you have placed the props. A bisque kiln is packed with greenware work. This means it has not yet been fired and is incredibly fragile, so take extra care. Greenware must be bone dry before it is placed in the kiln. If unsure of the dryness of the work, place it against your cheek. If it is cold on your cheek, it means that there is still moisture present and it should be left to dry completely. When packing the layers, make sure to choose work that is smaller than your chosen prop size. Unlike glazed work, greenware can touch in the kiln. This means it can be tightly packed and stacked. If stacking work, make sure that the top piece is resting on the base of the bottom piece and not on the rim. If it is resting on the rim, it will cause breakages during the firing as they shrink. If stacking works, make sure that the piece at the bottom of the stack is strong enough to support the weight of the top piece. Do not pack something heavy on top of something lighter, as this will cause breakages during the firing. Work can also be packed on top of each other, rim to rim, but only if they're at the same diameter and lying comfortably together. Although it is economic and preferable to pack a secure and tight kiln, please do not take any risks. If unsure about your pack at any stage and need guidance, ask a studio manager or technician for advice. They'll be happy to help, and there are no silly questions when it comes to packing kilns. Packing a glaze differs in many ways to packing a bisque. Having said that, the same rules apply for the props. When choosing work to go into the glaze pack, make sure that the bases of each piece are totally clear of any glaze. If there is glaze on the base, it will cause the pot to stick to the kiln shelf, therefore ruining the pot and the shelf. If you notice that there is a thick layer of glaze on the pot, it has been double dipped, or you are in any way concerned about the glaze running, please place a danger disc under the pot to protect the shelf. We like to pack our kilns with plates in the middle and larger work at the top. Make sure your work isn't overlapping or hanging over the edge of the kiln shelf in case glaze is run. Unlike a bisque pack, glaze work cannot touch in the kiln. There must be at least a finger's width between each piece. If possible, try to separate dark glazes and white glazes onto different layers. This makes sure there is no flashing in the kiln. Flashing is when glaze jumps from one pot to another during the firing. If using oxides, there is a higher risk of flashing. It is advised to have 3 fingers width between pieces with oxide. Take care that any glazed work isn't too close to the elements. If glaze gets onto the elements or brickwork, it will cause them to erode much quicker. Make sure to wipe your hands in a towel every time you've placed a glazed piece into the kiln. Otherwise, glaze residue from your fingers will transfer onto the next pot you handle and it will ruin its surface. Now Sean, the assistant manager of the studio, is going to talk you through how to program a kiln. Take it away, Sean.
In this video, we're going to show you how to program a glaze firing onto the L&L kilns. When you get to the kiln, you want the screen to be showing the idle, and it will also show you the temperature of thermocouple 2. So we're in idle mode, thermocouple to 20. If I wanted to change program to now, I would hit the enter program button, and you see it will tell me which program I'm on. So yes, I want to edit program 2. I hit enter. And it will then ask me how many segments I want in the program. And this is how many ramps or how many stages I want this program to be. Right now, I want to keep it at 2 segments for this program. So I'll hit 2 and hit enter. Now I want my ramp, this will come into the temperature at which that first segment or that first ramp goes up. Right now it's set to the first ramp to go at 100 degrees an hour. I want to slow that down a bit because I want a slightly slower drying cycle on this. So I'm going to set it to 80 degrees an hour and press enter. And my target temperature will be 200 degrees. So right now it's set at ramp 1 is 80 degrees an hour until it hits 200 degrees. And I'm perfectly happy with that. Now I've set it on no hold. Some people might like to set a few minute hold there, especially if they're drying out work, but I'm happy with no hold. Hold is displayed in hours and minutes. So the numbers to the left of the decimal spot are hours, and the numbers to the right are in minutes, and I would just enter that number in if I wanted to add a hold to that. Hit enter again. Now I'm on ramp 2. And ramp 2 is going at 120 degrees an hour, and I'm happy with that. So I'm just going to keep that by hitting enter. And my target temperature there is 1240. So that's 120 degrees an hour to 1240. I want to fire slightly higher, so I'm going to change this to 1260 and hit enter. And I want it to hold at 1260 for a few minutes. Right now it's set at 15 minutes. I'm going to reduce that down to 10. Just because I know I don't need to hold it that long for this program, and hit enter. It's giving me the option to set an alarm for a temperature, but we don't really worry about that at this stage. I'll hit enter again, and hit enter again, and it will take me right back to the idle screen, and that's how I know my program is entered. I can then review the program, again by just hitting the review program button, and it'll take me through 2 segments, ramp 1, 80 degrees an hour until 200 degrees. With no hold, ramp 2, 120 degrees an hour to 1260 with a 10-minute hold. Now that I'm happy with that and I've checked it, I'm ready to start my kiln. I could start the kiln by hitting the start button. You will see the on message get displayed on the kiln. And you will also hear a series of ticks, confirming that the kiln is on.
Once the kiln has been turned on, put an extraction tube over the top of the kiln. Make sure it is not resting on the kiln, as this is a fire hazard. The tubes direct any harmful fumes out of the studio. When the kiln reaches 400 to 600 degrees, it is time to bung it. All harmful fumes have now been burnt off, so we can remove the extraction tube and bung any holes that are allowing heat to escape the kiln. Try and bung the kiln closer to 600, although It is safe to bung at 400. Kilns are wonderful yet unpredictable machines. Although we do our best to make sure that they are at their optimal performance, kiln failures are an unfortunate, frustrating and inevitable part of our craft. If a kiln fails, do not panic. It doesn't necessarily mean that the work inside is ruined. The kilns we use are designed to have fail-safes that can allow for a kiln to reach the desired temperature even if there is an error code. In the unfortunate event of a kiln error, please let a member of staff know, take note of the error code and switch the kiln off at the wall. Once the kiln has cooled to a safe temperature, a member of our team will fix the issue. It is advised to use kiln logs before and after each firing. This gives everyone in the studio a clear and accurate idea of how each of our kilns are firing. Each kiln has their own personality, meaning that although your desired temperature could be 1260 degrees, the kiln may want to be programmed to 1230 to achieve this. Our kiln logs are the perfect resource for understanding these personality traits. If you notice an obscurity with any of the components of the kiln, please let a member of staff know and we'll do any repairs necessary. Thank you so much for taking the time to look at this video, and I hope that you have a better picture of how to safely pack a kiln. Thank you very much, and do reach out if you have any more questions. Our staff are happy to help. Bye.